share.
Oh, hello and good morning. My name is Joe Roberts. I am a representative of the education group leaders team within the ICF Colorado. And we are delighted that this month, on November 14th, we're going to be having a very special guest speaker and coach who's going to come in and help us to make the most of the session. And she's going to be talking to us about organizational relationship systems coaching, which is a fantastic topic, something that I'm very keen and interested in, and I'm sure you will be too when you get there. So please let me introduce you to Chris Coward.
Hi, good morning, Joe. Glad to be with you bright and early this morning.
Yeah, it is. We're getting off to a good start on this, this morning.
It's always good to start the morning with an interview.
Absolutely right. Well, we're really feeling at our best.
Give ourselves a reason to shower.
Exactly. Well, hey, we just really keen to hear what you're going to be doing with us. So we thought we'd prepare this little, kind of a short little introduction to it, and then we can put it on Facebook for people who are going to be watching it or on our base camp. So anyway, Chris, how did you first get interested in this organizational relationship systems coaching?
Well, so I think it was around 2011. I was attending an ICF Philadelphia monthly meeting, kind of like ours, and two of my colleagues had just come back from taking the fundamentals of we call it ORSC for abbreviation. So if you hear that, it does stand for Organization Relationship Systems Coaching, which is a mouthful. And I just loved it. They did a few experiential exercises with our group, and I saw that it was powerful, and I saw that it could be a good tool to take away and use with teams that I was working with, where I didn't have something like this to use with them. I felt like I was drawing on kind of some one-on-one coaching principles to make that work. So I got hooked, and when the program came to my area, I took it, and then the fundamentals, which is only 2 days, I took it 3 more times.
Wow.
After that as an assistant. Two of those times was in Denver, and they said, I was checking in with the facilitators, and they said, how come you're not like continuing on to do the rest of the, there's like 6 more programs, and I keep taking the first one. And it's just timing. I will at some point.
Yeah, very, very good. Well, we're so interested to hear how that kind of differs from one-to-one coaching and maybe from what we do normally. Well, how would you explain that to someone?
Sure. Well, there is some overlap and with one-on-one coaching, and then there's also some differences. And I want to mention first, like, where this material comes from, and because the creators of this they created a company called the Center for Right Relationships, also with an acronym CRR, and ORSC came out of that. The 2 founders of this are they're coactive coaches, and so that it borrows from coactive coaching, it borrows from general systems theory, process work, organizational development, appreciative inquiry, positive psychology, empirical research, and then interest-based bargaining, all on top of bringing in coactive coaching principles. So it brings in a lot, and so it'll be interesting, right? So when we have our members participate on Thursday, November 14th, a lot of folks will be in their chairs and standing up going, oh, I've done something like this, or this sounds like this. And they'll be absolutely right that it will have come from that. And yet it creates its own thing in and of itself. The whole goal of it really is to reveal the system to itself. So we're all part of systems, right? And just like masterful one-on-one coaching, we trust the process of how to do that. We're not trying to fix the team, the marriage, the business partnership. We're wanting to help them see themselves, their strengths, their challenges and opportunities, and then help bring them into action around that. And there's also a bit of conflict work that can happen in this kind of work, as you can imagine too. So being comfortable with that.
I see. So if you identify conflicts within the system, whether you can highlight that and bring that to, so you can work on it. Yeah. Well, that.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
But really, they work on it.
yeah, they work on it. That's right. That's what I mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
the participants work on it. Yeah. So how have you applied this work yourself in some of your coaching?
Sure. Well, like I said, when I with my first exposure way back when 7 years ago or something like that, I took it and ran,
Huh.
and I was already having some work with teams, and I said, why don't I try this? Why don't I try that? And I'm definitely one of those coaches that when I learn something, I'm not looking to get a PhD in it, right? I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
this is good. I think I got it. I'm willing to play with it and experiment and get out there. And that's exactly what I did. So as I've taken even the fundamentals a few times, I get little nuances from the different instructors and then try other ways and improve on the ones that I'm actually using.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting and very powerful. And in
Mm.
fact, it's actually gotten me more paid work just
Uh-huh.
from knowing that I have tools to help groups and teams and relationships with their problems.
Yeah, well, that's very powerful, isn't it? For especially when you're doing group and teamwork, to help them to see themselves, kind of look at themselves from the outside. So that sounds really exciting, and I love the idea that it's very practical. You know, that's something that we can take away and put straight into it. So, what would you like to have the participants on the November 14th when we have our monthly meeting? What would you like them thinking and saying and feeling and doing as a result of having attended the session?
Well, so during the session, I'd love for people to come in with a spirit of openness and play and just really considering, hey, this is practice. It's practice in front of colleagues because we're going to do a couple things and there'll be opportunities to try some of these tools and mess
Great.
them up and no one's going to get hurt. It'll be
Yeah,
fun
great. Oh,
and then
good.
go back. And then from that, really leaving with, hey, I have a couple tools that I can use now. Where
Yeah,
can I apply these and continue the practice? And hey, if people are interested in learning more,
yeah,
I mean, it's nothing I teach. I'm just going to be given a teaser, but I'm looking to keep that relationship going with Center for Right Relationships and have
yeah.
them continuing to come out to Denver and provide the training.
Boy, that sounds so intriguing, and I can't wait to get the chance to practice, which we love to do on these things, and then take away one or two tools. What might be a tool that could you give it a name to it, or do you want to wait until we get there to find out what these tools are?
I can say what the two tools are.
Okay.
I won't go into detail though. One of
No.
them is called working with the third entity,
Okay.
which I'll just say that. And then the other
Okay.
is doing, it's called constellating the system. And I have a
Wow.
feeling some of our coaches, especially from a psychology perspective, et cetera, might have some familiarity with this. I bet that we're going to be doing it a little bit differently though.
I bet we are. And knowing you, Chris, I'm sure we are. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to share this. We'll get it out there so people can hear what's going to be going on and perhaps even invite one or two of their friends that would like to come along and hear Chris and really experience something which will be quite life-changing and we can have some good takeaways to make our coaching practice and our life even better. So, Chris, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. I'll
Bye.
see you soon. Bye bye.